Your Steve Jones Show podcast is loading now. The Steve Jones Show podcast is sponsored by Purdy Insurance. Visit Purdy Insurance on Market Street in Sunbury or visit online at purdyinsurance.com. Sports talk where your voice counts. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. Now from the Sunbury Motor Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Rolling near side, Stroud throws, caught, decked, and then breaks the tackle. Rucker does, stepped out of bounds, and I think he fumbled the ball, and Penn State recovers. Penn State recovers the fumble, the first big takeaway of the game. Takes it, wants to throw. Steps up in the pocket, delivers down the middle, caught, first down, 25 to the 20. Dances around near sideline and out of bounds inside the 20 at the 16-yard line. Parker Washington. Play action. Clifford rolls, fires, caught, Strange, dives, touchdown, Penn State. The Nittany Lions cap an 89-yard drive and take the lead. Going to give it to Henderson, and he's going to be decked for a loss by Devon Ellis. A loss back to the 47-yard line, and they go from 3rd down and 2 to 4th and 4. Check out. Good snap, put down. Kick by Stout is on the way. Kick by Jordan Stout is good as he belts it into the net, and the Nittany Lions close the half with a field goal. Dotson, direct snap to him, to the edge, blocked by Warren, dives to the pylon. He has got a touchdown, Penn State. 3rd and goal, just inside the 1. Clifford turns, gives it a lead, touchdown, Penn State. He walks in, and the Nittany Lions continue this gutty performance and get to within 1 score. Here it is, 4th and 3. Stroud, back, play action, delivers, and incomplete. Jacobs dropped into a spot where he couldn't throw it over him, and Penn State takes over on downs, down 3.
Another tough one to talk about today here on the Steve Jones Show. Matt Catrillo here with you. Steve will soon be there from the Sunbury Motors studio. Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf. And online at sunburymotors.com. Ford, Kia, Hyundai, all sorts of pre-owned inventory. And a great service department and excellent sales staff. That's all at Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kia, routes 11 and 15 in Hummel's Wharf. And online at sunburymotors.com. And every Monday show brought to you by our good friends at Purdy Insurance. Market Street in Sunbury or at purdyinsurance.com. Home, auto, life, business, all sorts of insurance needs. They're all there for you to protect what matters most. True professionals. Love the Purdys. Go check them out at Market Street in Sunbury or purdyinsurance.com. So let's start with this from the game itself. And you saw really, I think Steve puts it into perspective well, and that is, it was
Hello.
A gutty performance. Hello
Matt.
there.
Hello?
Hello.
Am I getting any response? I hope I am.
How about now?
There we are.
Hello.
There you go. There you go. Well, how are you, sir?
I'm good. It was a pretty good, other than Penn State, it was a pretty good sports weekend. And it was a fun Halloween weekend. Luke survived his first trick-or-treating.
And then what did the little terror do?
He was a cow. He and Mark were both cows, and I was the farmer.
Okay.
So it was a good time.
You went as a farmer.
Yes, the farmer of the cows.
And how much time did it take for your outfit?
Less than a minute.
Less than a minute.
Yes.
The incredible care that you put in. Okay. Very nice. And exactly how much candy did Farmer Matt get?
A decent amount. We got to a couple houses. We got to 7 houses total in our neck of the woods. So pretty decent.
Yeah. All right. Very nice. I'm glad you did well. I caught some of it, handed out candy. Practice got pulled back, got pushed back a little bit. Because we didn't get back till
I saw it was an interesting
6:45
landing.
in the morning.
Yeah, I heard.
Landing? We didn't land here.
Right. I ended up going to Harrisburg because of the fog.
We waited outside the stadium for probably over an hour. And everybody's, look, we're trying to figure out what to do here. Okay. And it's not easy because it involves buses, where they got to go, things like that, where do you got to land. So we waited for an hour. All right. And then we went out to the airport. Now, we didn't know when we left if we were busing all the way back and going to the airport. We get about halfway there, and I looked over at Jack. I said, look, we're going to the airport. He said, how do you know? I said, because I've gone to the airport here a million times. I know what route we're taking. He goes, okay, got it. All right. So we get there, and we go through security and the whole deal. Boom, get on the plane, and we wait till 2:30 in the morning. And the idea was, let's wait and see if the fog clears up in State College. We'll just fly back in. And I mean, and here's the part that the crushing part is. It's a 38-minute flight to State College, and you're done. But that's not what happened. And so we ended up, and to be honest with you, maybe it was me missing something, whatever. When we took off, I didn't know where we were going. I mean, I knew what the reason was. I knew what the reason behind it was, which made total sense to me. Jack and I were talking for a while, talk, whatever, and then I kind of maybe nodded off a little bit. And when I woke up, we have a TV screen in front of us, in front of each one. And you can watch whatever you want. And there's also one that's a map. You can switch it to map view. And so I flipped it over to map view, and I'm like going, oh. I looked at Jack. Jack says, where are we going? I said, I can tell by the map we're near Harrisburg. I said, we must be going to Harrisburg. So, yeah, we landed in Harrisburg. And then we had to wait for the buses, and then the buses took us back. And we got back to Lash about maybe, 5 after, 10 after 6. Because James asked me last night, he says, Steve, what time did you walk in your house? I said, 6:45. He goes, oh, me too. Now, with him, he probably got out, dropped off something in the office, and then he drove. But he lives out in Port Matilda. It takes him a while. For Jack and me, Jack was able to get somebody from the Penn Stater to have a van waiting for us, and that van took us out to the airport because we had to get our cars. They were out at the airport. So we go out the airport, boom, get the car. Then I drove home, and I walked in about 6:45 yesterday morning. I'm like, oh, man, I'm tired. So now you make these decisions. Like, I think everybody knows I'm somebody, everybody makes their own choices in life. One of mine is I go to Mass every Sunday. Okay. So I'm thinking, well, 6:45, stay up for another half an hour. I could probably go to Mass, 7:30. And I decided, no, I'll go to sleep for 4 hours. Then I'll go to Mass. Go to the 11:30 Mass. I'm still not sure that was the right decision, but I did. That's the one I made. It's like, holy cow.
No, I probably would have done the same thing.
I thought about it. You know what? You know why I didn't? You know why I didn't? The reason I decided, okay, you know what? Because, you go away on a road trip, the whole thing. I figured we'd go over together instead of just going to Mass separately. So that's why I did. I thought, she'll go to the 11:30. I'll just go with it. You know what I mean?
Of course.
I thought it was the right thing. I just thought it was the right thing to do. So, all right. So that was the travel. Okay, got that done. Nate Bauer, 3:35, and Corey Geiger today as well. We got a lot this week. We got Dennis Dodd this week. We got Ryan Snyder this week. We got a lot going on this week. And then the King on Friday this week. Or excuse me, the King on Thursday this week. King's on Thursday this week. And we only have one person for the roundtable this week? Or are we going to have a recap roundtable?
No, we'll have two because Lewisburg got in with the W and some help, and then the math ended up getting out in their favor, so they are in and Mifflinburg's out. That was the biggest surprise of all the Week 10 games on Friday night. So we got two playoff games coming up.
What's Lewisburg's record?
So they were 5-4. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well they should be in. They went. If they went 5-4, they should be in.
Yeah.
They're over 500. They should be in.
Yeah, they were over 500. Yeah.
Good. No, that to me that's all I care about. I don't want to hear about some 3-6 team. We're in the district playoffs. No, really, you're staying home. You had 9 shots. You won 3. You're staying home. I'm sorry. That's just the way I feel.
Oh, yeah. I'm totally with you there. Yeah. And because of that, there were some teams that did opt out and this and that and some of the other classes. But, yeah, so we got 2 games. We got Selinsgrove and Shamokin in 4A. And then we have Lewisburg and Jersey Shore as well.
Well, cool. All right. So we got some roundtable action coming up.
We do. Playoff edition on Thursday.
Suit and I had a great exchange on Friday night during the game. So No. I'm so serious. You ask him. You ask him if it was a great exchange.
All right.
No, really. I'm sorry. I'm not kidding you. No,
well, good. I'm glad.
No. It's 180 of the no. It was when it comes time for me to be serious, I'm serious. Okay? When it comes time for me to kid around, I kid around. All right? Okay, for all the kidding around, I love him like a brother. So he had a couple of questions for me at halftime, and I answered them for you. You ask him about it.
Okay? Well, that's good, though. Yeah, in all seriousness, he's had a rough couple of years between Bucknell and Shikellamy. It's happened to be the same time. It's been that way. But
Right. No, I understand. But it has nothing to do with records, okay? But no, seriously, you ask him. It's I was in my room in Columbus, and we texted back and forth about something, whatever, and I think it turned out great. Okay,
oh, good.
So, the heck. No, it'll be the last time I do that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm on the road. What do you bother me for? I'm so busy. I'm in my room watching baseball. All right. I know we got to talk about the Penn State game, which we haven't done yet, but we got Nate Bauer coming up to talk about that in a few moments as well, and Corey Geiger on the same topic at 4:06 today. So we'll take a break. Today's show is sponsored by our good friends at Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com as we continue on News Radio 1070 WKOK.
The weather is getting cooler and the leaves are changing in Central PA. Hi, this is Susan from Purdy Insurance. If your current agent is falling short, it's time to give Purdy Insurance a call. We're a local, family-owned independent agency ready to find the right insurance to fit your needs. You can call us at 570-286-5855, stop in our office on Market Street in Sunbury, or head to our website at purdyinsurance.com to find out what we can do for you.
Ball comes loose, and it will be taken in for a touchdown back in Detroit by Darius Slay.
Avonte Maddox just punches it right out.
So how about that combination? You have Avonte Maddox, who grew up in Detroit. He has a Lions tattoo. And then Slay, who played here for 7 years. They both addressed the team this week.
Was that supposed to be some sort of significant win, or?
It was just refreshing. Let's just put it at that. But the Lions, this team is definitely much worse than the 0-16 team, because this team is going to go 0-17. That is an astronomically horrible football team. But the Eagles took care of business yesterday.
That's really great. Yeah, that's fabulous. So you won a game you're supposed to win?
That's right. Because, remember, we were questioning if the Eagles could even win this game. And when I thought they would win, I finally came to my senses, and I thought, 24-20 type game. They squeak it out. I didn't expect 44-6. So because they made it 44-6, it kind of leads you back to the excitement we all had week one, but now, can they sustain it? In coaching, playing, all that.
Excitement? When the heck were you excited? I mean, I've looked at this team the whole time and said they aren't any good. I'm so excited. It's like
there was some excitement week one, even though, again, the Falcons aren't that great a team, though they played better. And this team is obviously a thousand times worse.
So they've got 3 wins, and 2 of them are over the Falcons and the Lions. I just want to make sure I got this straight here.
I know. I'm like I said, I'm not saying they're going to the Super Bowl or anything, but I think you can maybe. I was just saying this game was needed, and now we'll see if they can sustain anything going forward. There was the commitment of running the football and less penalties and all that good stuff.
Who do they have this week?
They got the Chargers at home. Good team, but I can't still figure them out. And because it's at home, well, actually, I think either way. I think it's a winnable game if they can commit to the run.
Oh, no, I think playing at home's worse for Philadelphia because their fans will turn on them in a hurry.
It was just refreshing yesterday. Well, yeah, but that's how we are. If you stink, you stink. If you're good, we'll cheer you. If you stink, we're going to boo you. We're not that complicated.
And you wonder why you have so few championships. No, seriously, and I mean that in all seriousness. Okay, the lack of emotional support. You stink. You stink. You know what? You're making it less a difference than you think you are. People don't want to play for you. Which free agents are flocking to play in Philadelphia? Let me ask you.
There were some not too long ago.
Getting fewer by the day.
Taking your calls at 800-795-9565. This is the Steve Jones Show on News Radio 1070 WKOK. Now from the Sunbury Motors Studio, here's Steve Jones.
Today's show brought to you by Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. Auto, home, life, business, boat, motorcycle, suit, any kind of insurance that you may need. They'll get you the best price and the right insurance. They'll take care of that policy and all your insurance needs. It's Purdy Insurance. Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. And we're in the Sunbury Motors Studio. Sunbury Motors, 4th Street in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors, Key routes 11 and 15. Hummel's Wharf, and online at sunburymotors.com. Joining us now from, what do we call it, 0-3, on 3?
On 3, like on 3, hut, you know?
Football. How about one more? You only did 2.
Okay. I'll take it back. I'll send that up the corporate ladder. I'll let them know.
You have to say, hut, hut, hut. You have to say, give me the third one.
See, this is your invaluable knowledge coming to the forefront.
Yeah, I'm just a veteran observer. Nate Bauer from On 3.
That's right. Well, still Blue White Illustrated. So Blue White Illustrated at on3.com.
So that's what it is.
I know. It's very confusing.
So if I go to...
plug?
Yes, well, because people are probably wondering, how do they get to it? So it's Blue White Illustrated, one word, or...
Blue White Illustrated, one word.com will take you to our new website on our new home. It is $1 to subscribe to our premium content for a year. Please,
Blue White,
help me feed my family. Sign up for that $1.
So it's Blue White Illustrated.
.com.
What's the rest?
That's it.
.com.
That's it. It'll take you right there. It's beautiful. And most important, we're all there. The whole gang of Blue White Illustrated has moved to this new network, and it's pretty awesome.
Well, good.
You know.
And this will feed your kids.
This will, hopefully. My second, Oliver, he eats quite a bit. So, these 8-month-olds eating me out of house and home.
I know. So I don't have to do anything that says On 3, right? Just have to say BlueWhiteIllustrated.com?
BlueWhiteIllustrated.com. That's it. It's so simple.
I hope, because it doesn't bring me there.
Oh, no.
Exactly. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Google is another thing that you can use. Anything that says Blue White Illustrated will get you to us one way or another.
All right.
It'll be great.
I'll trust
you. You're going to love it.
I will. All right, so, look, there are no moral victories, okay?
Sure.
But what was your evaluation of level of play coming out of Saturday night?
So I'm going to repeat myself because I've felt this way Saturday night, and then I have been saying it since, that Jair Brown had a very interesting comment after the game, that they don't look at the scoreboard, okay? And as the losing team, that feels like a very convenient thing to say, but it struck me as this essential disconnect between fan, media, even coaches, and then the actual player on the field. Because the actual player on the field is looking to win his rep, right? Like, that is how the game is broken down, is by snaps, and it is your responsibility as 11 to beat the other 11 for as many plays as you possibly can. And so all of that is a long way of me saying Penn State won a bunch of reps on Saturday night against arguably one of the best teams in the country at their place, with Penn State coming off of some real disappointment. And so to me, I think that Penn State watched film yesterday and absolutely had things that needed to be corrected, opportunities that weren't taken advantage of, so on and so forth, but can still come out of that game and will come out of that game feeling as though it should feel invigorated. It should feel optimistic heading into this final month of the season.
Well, there's no question. So let's start with this. Going into the game, Penn State was on first down, 57% run, 43% pass, at least based on my raw numbers, and I keep track of it myself every game. And I had said in the pregame show, I felt like they may need to reverse it. He goes 60-40 pass. Well, it ended up they went 61-31. Okay. What do you think that approach meant to what we saw?
Well, look, I mean, I think that the basic proposition going into that game wasn't whether or not Penn State could pass effectively. It has done that this season. It's whether or not Penn State could keep its quarterback upright and give him the time to operate, because his limitations physically have not eliminated his ability to escape the pocket, but it has dampened that, I think. And so really it became, to me, all right, is Sean Clifford going to have an opportunity to get the ball out? Because Penn State's receivers are not bad. They're good. John Dotson is good. Parker Washington is good. Keandre Lambert-Smith is he's still young, but he's coming along. And so for an Ohio State secondary that had shown previously that it can be beaten and that it is a secondary willing to keep everything in front of it in exchange for preventing the deep ball and giving up the back-breaking play through the passing game, Penn State was able to operate in that space, right? Like, Sean Clifford was able – it was both ends of the spectrum, because the reality is the 4 sacks that Ohio State had in that game dictated the outcome. He dropped back 52 times or threw 52 passes, but it was the 4 plays, the 4 sacks, and one other pressure that really impacted how that game swung. So there were opportunities. There were things that Penn State was able to take advantage of in the passing game. It's just that on the few instances where it couldn't, it was very, very damaging to Penn State.
James always talks about big plays, turnovers.
Yep.
Okay? All the time. And Penn State turned it over 3 times, got only one because of that initial exchange. And there was the 38-yard touchdown pass, the run back for a touchdown, and the 68-yard run by Henderson.
Yep.
I thought it was graphic that in the end that's really the only difference between the two, because the turnovers produced 10 points and a 9-point win.
Ohio State beat Penn State the way that Penn State wants to beat everyone else. Like, period.
Right.
Henderson did not have a great game. His numbers were great, but and I'm not even going to call him pedestrian, but Penn State, for the most part, held him in check defensively.
He had 3 runs of 7 yards or better. Because I only say that because he had 1 run of 7 yards. Right. That's it. Right. I mean, out of 28 carries.
But
when he needed 2 big ones, he got 2 big ones.
Correct. And, I mean, I literally just got done having this conversation with a colleague. Penn State doesn't have that. Right? Like, James Franklin can look at the numbers after the game, and sometimes they tell a different story, right? So the rushing game was able to generate a couple of touchdowns for Penn State on Saturday night. So there were improvements made in that department, but at 2.2 yards per carry, it's not even the 2.2 yards per carry. It's the fact that was there a run longer than 15 yards for Penn State?
Longest was 11.
Longest was 11. And that's the issue.
See, I don't think
right?
you don't think I pay attention.
No, I know you do. If anyone does, it's you. No, but that's what we're talking about here is you get a hand, these teams are built to compete with each other. These games, it's not an accident that Penn State is so competitive with Ohio State, because when evenly matched or close or in the ballpark, that is how college football games are won or lost, on 5 to 10 plays a game. And the difference in this one is that Ohio State had more of those plays than Penn State did, both defensively and offensively. Certainly the turnovers that Ohio State was able to create. Obviously, when you spot them 7 on a fumble, return for a touchdown, when your offense is on their side of the field, that is a backbreaker. But so, too, is the 70-yard reception, right, for Smith. Like, or Dick, excuse me, I can't pronounce the kid's name. The Ohio State receiver who had the big chunk
Jackson
play.
Jackson Smith and Jigma.
There you go.
It's my job to know those things.
Yeah, you know, it's been a long few days.
That's what I always say to Jack all the time. And same thing with James. James will talk about numbers on Thursday night, and then I'll give who the names are, because that's my job. It's not his job.
Yeah. So, well, yeah. In any case, those plays, that run by Henderson, and then that pass, you know, like those are difference-making plays, and Ohio State was able to make them, and Penn State wasn't. And, you know, they find themselves on the losing end of another game because of it.
The red zone defense this year, they've had 3 takeaways. They've given up a total of 20 scores. 12 are field goals.
Yep.
On Saturday night, 5 trips into the red zone by that vaunted Ohio State offense, and they had 4 field goals and a touchdown. What does that tell us about what we're watching defensively?
They are above great. Like they are a nearly elite defensive unit. They are very, very good. They have been all season. There's nothing else to see. It's not like the jury is still out. If you give up 26 points as an offense, or excuse me, as a defense at Ohio State, you've done your job. You really have. And not only did they give up 26 points as a defense at Ohio State and everything that Ohio State has been offensively this season, but Penn State's offense put it in enough holes that it becomes that much more impressive, right? When Ohio State's average starting field position is their 34, but I mean, look at these numbers. Ohio State started with the ball at their own 47. They started at the Penn State at midfield effectively, at the Penn State 28-yard line. I mean, those are tough spots to be in as a defense. So for Penn State's defense to have been able to withstand that and still hold Ohio State to 26 points offensively, like that has to be good enough. You as an offense, Penn State needs to be able to produce enough to win in that type of an environment.
Now, next up, Maryland. So that brings up November. What kind of statement can this team make in November?
Yeah, I mean, look, like everything is in front of them for sure. I mean, certainly the way that the Iowa and Illinois game played out for Penn State is tremendously disappointing, right? Because I think that everyone knows if Sean Clifford is healthy for both of those games, you're probably looking at least one different outcome, if not 2. Okay, so instead of 5-3, we're talking about 7-1 potentially. However, it is what it is now. Okay, and this 5-3 team now has to, and again, like I just keep coming back to this, but Maryland can score points. Okay. Maryland's defense is not...
Tungavailoa's coming off a career high 419, so.
Okay. They can score some points, even against a very, very good Penn State defense. Maryland's defense, not very good, has not been consistent this season, and at times they have gotten lit up. Can Penn State's offense, no matter the circumstances, but going on the road, coming off 3 straight losses, put up the points that it has to put up to win a game like this? And people look and say, okay, well, and I'm guilty of it too. I'm sure you are. You look and you say, okay, well, Penn State just took the number 5 team in the country at their place to effectively the wire, right? I mean, the game was in doubt with 5 minutes to play. If Penn State's offense can't score more than 24 points at Maryland or coughs up 3 turnovers, it's probably going to lose the game. It's probably going to lose. So that's what this is about, is can Penn State's offense go out and score enough to win, get back into the wins column, get to 6, okay, set up that game with Michigan, and then go from there. Because that's really kind of the reality of these last 4 games, is outside of Rutgers, Penn State's going to have to be able to do some things offensively to be able to collect the wins that it's expecting to collect or wants to collect.
So the big pitch here in the end is about getting your kid to college.
That's correct. That is correct. We've already had this discussion. Now, Stella's 3. She doesn't really understand, but we told her, if you don't go to Penn State, you're on your own. We get a little bit of a discount there. You know, it's her choice, but basically their college choices have already been selected. Listen, take time.
But we have to get enough people over to the site to make this happen.
That's correct.
Discount or not.
Penn State Blue White Illustrated at On3. If you look up Penn State on3.com on Google, it'll take you to us. If you type in bluewhiteillustrated.com, it'll bring you to us. It's $1 for a year. Frankly, Steve, I expect to see. I mean, what's the reach of this radio station? It's got to be like 8 million, right?
Parking lot, 8 million, somewhere in between.
Okay. I'm expecting a spike after this show. This station,
10,000 watts.
Okay.
Not small, big reach.
That's what I'm saying.
And a lot of numbers on the podcast. Like Matt, tons of numbers on the podcast, correct?
Oh yeah, especially the last couple months.
And these are Penn State fans. Come on, let's go. Let's do it.
We think most of them are. All right, so my friend, always a pleasure. Great talking with you before the game. We didn't get into some of the things we talked about before the game, but at some point we might.
I'm always around, and I'm happy to chat anytime you'll have me, Steve.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. You know that.
Same. Likewise. Well, I'll catch you Saturday. College
Sounds
Park.
Great. Look forward to it. Perfect. Look forward to it. Thanks, bud. Nate Bauer joining us from on3.com. We're going to take a break on 3. Hut.
When it comes to car buying, there's the other guy's way, and then there's the SMC way. The other guys force you into a vehicle you really don't want. The Sunbury Motors way lets you take the time you need to browse, ask questions, and take the test drive and think on it. For over 100 years, the Mertz family and all their employees have made your experience the most pleasant one you'll ever have. The other guys won't offer you the best price for your trade, no matter how much they say they will. The SMC way is their promise to provide you with the most money the market shows your vehicle is worth. The SMC way is to offer you all applicable factory rebates on new vehicles and generous discounts. Looking for a pre-owned vehicle? The SMC way checks each vehicle in a 200-mile radius to determine the lowest price, then beat it. It's the lowest price promise, just part of the SMC way. The choice is up to you, the other guy's way or the SMC way. The SMC way wins every time. Sunbury Motors Company in the North 4th Street Auto Plaza, Sunbury, and at sunburymotors.com. Selling more cars and satisfying more customers for over 100 years.
Today's show brought to you by Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. Auto, home, life, business, boat, motorcycle, whatever your insurance need may be, they'll take care of it. It is all at our good friends at Purdy Insurance, Market Street in Sunbury. Go to purdyinsurance.com. Here on News Radio 1070 WKOK.